Before I introduce you to our head table, I would like to just give you a brief background context for this particular event. This year has been designated the International Year of Water Cooperation, and this week is the World Water Week. And we were invited by the Caribbean Water and Wastewater Association, the local chapter, the national chapter, headed by Mr. Andy Phillip, who is sitting to my far right, to participate in the events of this week. And we decided at CEHI, together with the partners, to organize this event. The objective of the event really is to raise awareness of water issues. And when I thought of what I would say to you a couple of days ago, I was coming here to say, look outside, we are in drought conditions, how dry it is, and water situation is critical. And you know there's something called Murphy's Law, that whatever you think is going to happen does not happen, or vice versa, and then the rains came. But the point is that water is still a critical issue for the Caribbean, not just St. Lucia. We have been designated a water stress region. And the point we keep making is that notwithstanding the fact that we have not enough water or too much water, as some people would say in the case of Dominica, for instance, the point is that our water resources must be managed. Too much or too little, we still have to find ways of managing the water in the most efficient and effective fashion. The objective of this really is to bring together stakeholders to raise awareness of water issues in St. Lucia, particularly on this particular day. And notwithstanding the fact that I would want to think that we are still in a drought alert situation, I don't know that I haven't looked at the Met figures, but I don't know that the rainfall that we've had over the last couple of days has been significant enough to make a difference to the Sir John Compton Dam, which is the main source of our supply. But at least I think in the part of the public there's a bit of a relief thinking that, okay, the rains are here. I don't know. The fact of the matter is that we want to look at the issue of water resources management and to hammer home the message that water is not just Wasco's business, for instance, or not just the business of a utility or a ministry, that water is everybody's business. And this is why we have been advocating, we meaning CEHI, we're doing significant work within the region among our member states for promoting an approach, a framework called integrated water resources management, meaning that it is holistic, it looks at all the stakeholders who are involved, all those who have to manage, all those who use, the public in terms of their responsibility as users of water and as polluters of water as well. And so we are hoping that by raising awareness that we would have gone some way to promoting the approach to water management, but more importantly, to look at individual responsibilities for water, corporate responsibility, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to speak too long, but I know that all of you would have remembered, here in St. Lucia would have remembered the drought conditions of 2009 and 2010. And in a sense, for CEHI and those of us working in the water sector, as gross or morbid as this might sound, it really in a way was a good thing. Because for once we got the kinds of reaction that we have wanted and been trying to get from people at another level. In other words, we say our water is in short supply, but water was placed on the regional agenda of heads of government. In fact, in 2010, early 2010, there was an intersessional meeting of heads of government in Dominica, and we say he got an SOS, quickly prepare a paper, short-term, long-term, and more strategic approaches to water management in the drought situation. Suddenly everybody, because in St. Lucia, the hotels were sending back guests, schools were closing down, the hospitals were affected, householders were crying out for lack of water. And so some good has come out of a bad situation. And I want to say, looking back, not in a scientific way, but certainly in terms of how we feel, the solution has gone some way towards identifying the fact that we need to do more and be better considering our water. I'll just share with you PS in the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Energy, Science and Technology, or Ministry of Sustainable Development, etc., as some people said. Mrs. Sylvester Clausel is here with us representing the ministry. But we were very gratified, meaning from an institutional standpoint, when we met with our line minister, Minister Fletcher. And the first thing he said to us is that if the Caribbean does not take notice of this water situation, we are going to be going up a really rough road. So it is recognized already at political level. But more importantly, though, is how we, in our various situations, manage our water. So we have agriculture, which is one of the highest users of water in the Caribbean. You have your tourism sector, for instance. And so we're hoping that out of today's discussions that we get a better appreciation. I know in some instances we're speaking to converted, but I'm happy that the media are here because we would see their role as promoting this issue of water. We intend to do more as well. This is not a one-shot event. We're going to hear about things like water safety planning, why that approach is also, methodology is important for us in terms of identifying where our critical risk assessment, risk issues lie. We're going to talk about, for instance, water safety planning, work that CEHI has done together with our ministry on the Northwest Coast, and to get a better sense of it, but also at the end of the day, to transmit the kinds of information that the public out there needs to know. If we come back to the issue of the drought conditions, one of the things that really struck me was when the TV cameras went into some river areas and were actually showing you fridges and old mattresses and furniture and car washing and other things taking place in a river, the very river that people were going back to get water because the water supply was so scarce. It should have hit everybody at that time, including those persons who were dumping solid waste into our water courses, that we had to do better, and we must do better. And so the messages are coming out. This region is a water stress region, like I mentioned before, as designated by the United Nations. A couple of years ago, the UN Secretary General headline, "Water is the new oil." Wars are going to be fought over water. So the predictions are dire. And so we have to be ahead of that and look at how best to manage what we have, to look at water augmentation, for instance, rainwater harvesting, which we have practiced for generations. People in the areas would set up their own rainwater barrels and collect the rainwater. We need to get back. That's a global initiative now. We need to get back to those kinds of water augmentation and so on. So without much further ado, I will again introduce, I have on my closest right, Mr. Victor Poyot, who is the Executive Director of the Caribbean Water and Sewerage Association, and he will tell you about his organization. We are honored to have the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Sylvester Clozel here, and as I mentioned, Mr. Andy Phillip from the Caribbean Water and Wastewater Association. I want to recognize, before I pass on to the next speaker, some persons in the audience from the Water and Sewage Commission, from the National Water Resources Agency. I'd like to make special mention of a colleague of ours, Dr. Horst Vogel, who's sitting in the audience, newly arrived in St. Lucia to be the team leader of a project CEHI is implementing, funded by the government of Germany, and which is looking at coastal and marine biodiversity and coastal marine resources management, and recognizing again why this seminar is important, this symposium is important, that a lot of what is happening out there, impacting on our marine life and our coastal areas, are really land-based issues. So I'd like to welcome Dr. Vogel to this symposium. We have our CEHI colleagues. I hope I have not left out anybody. It's because I don't know all of you, but welcome everybody. Okay, I see Mr. Revere sitting at the back and Mr. Andrew and others. But thank you all very much for coming. And I would now like to introduce you to Mr. Poyot, who would, So we are conscious of the fact that the PS, Mr. Clozel, has to leave and was promised to return. So I'm going to ask him now to deliver some brief